I don't know. Is it too loud out here? It's so nice though. Hi there. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about something that's been happening kind of on the reg, like recently or just like this week, but it's something like something that people have mentioned to me for as long as I can remember, especially as like an adult human. A lot of times different kinds of people will say similar things to me, whether that is a friend or a stranger. They're like, oh, I could never do that, like blah blah blah. Talking about literally anything from like dyeing my hair to playing roller derby or anything that I've ever done in between. Like whenever I talk about it, they're just like, oh, I couldn't do that. It's like, you, but the thing is that you could. A lot of times this happens too with like, oh, I could never pull that off. I didn't realize this until now, but like I'm wearing a bow on my head, and I feel like that's a thing that people would probably say that about too. But guess what? The only thing you need to do to pull something off is to put it on your body, and then there you go. You're pulling it off. No one gave me permission to wear a bow or have purple hair. I just did it. And then, so those are more like, you know, physical appearance things that are not, I don't know, skills or trying to do anything. But people also say that to me about things like roller derby, which I did for a couple of years after graduating from college. Whenever people find that out, they're like, oh, I could never do that. I'm like, I wasn't good at it. Like, I just did it. And I think that's the key to like me seeming brave is a word that people are like, oh, you're so brave, you're doing this thing. I'm like, I'm not brave. I'm just okay with being okay at stuff. That's how you do literally anything. You just have to be okay with being okay. Literally, in everything that I've ever done in my life, I have been okay at best. I've never been like the best at anything that I've ever done. And you might think that this is me being modest, but or like, oh, self-deprecating or like lack of confidence, but it's not. I just know that I was never the best, but that didn't take away like the fun and enjoyment I had while doing it. So some examples of this are, from the time I was a little tiny 3-year-old until like I graduated from high school, I took dance classes and was on a competitive dance team. And then in high school, I tried out for the Pom Pom Squad. And I was one of 5 freshmen to make it, which is really cool already. And you're like, you just said you were okay at stuff, blah, blah, blah. But out of the like 28 girls who made it, I was one of 2 alternates, so I was literally the bottom 2 people that made it, so I just barely made it. I'm not making it up that I'm only okay at stuff. Like, I'm okay enough to make it, and then, yeah, that's it. I also, that happened to me in the musical in high school also. The first year that I was a dancer in the musical, I was an alternate. I was in like one number and wore a really ugly costume, but I still have fun, except for the time they forgot to give us pizza because they thought all the dancers are there and we weren't. Or that same year when they were like, those are dancers' costumes. And me and the other alternate, we were like, we are dancers. No one knew who we were. But we still have fun. It's fine. I played in like co-ed softball. I was so bad. I was like one of 2 people who like swapped sitting on the bench, and my brother also played. He's the athletic one in the family, and he would bat after me and then almost catch me when we're running on the bases, and the only way I would get on the base usually is if I walked. But I knew my strengths, but I still have fun. And then another thing, roller derby, I was definitely only okay at that. We had tryouts once for the team. They could take 20 people, and 21 people tried out, and I was one of 2 people to not make it. Yeah, but I still did it and still had fun and all that stuff. So you might think, well, yeah, you're always making it or whatever, you're still okay enough to make it, but that's not true. I've had a lot of times where I've tried out and it's been fun, but I didn't make it. Like the first time I tried out for the musical in high school, I did not make it. Then in college, I continued to try to have my dance career. However, that was just really hilarious to me because my freshman year of college, I tried out for this dance team, and the dance tryout song was to Pussycat Dolls' Buttons. and I didn't have as short of hair as I do now, but I still had like a little bob, and like a lot of the dance moves were like head rolls to like make your hair be all sexy, and like I cannot do body rolls or imply sexiness in dance routines at all, so I did not make it, but it was fun. And then another time, my senior year, I tried out for like this other dance team that was more like kind of like America's Best Dance Crew, but not quite. It wasn't quite like breakdancing, but it was definitely not like regular whatever. And there was this one part in that where you had to like make up your own thing. I did the Hoedown Throwdown from the Hannah Montana movie for my audition, so I obviously didn't make it. Yeah, so recently my bestie and I were talking about improv, and she was just, basically being like, it's so cool that you do this, blah, blah, blah. And that's another thing that I feel like I'm just okay at. I do it because it's fun, and I like the people, and I'm like trying to get better at all of these things. Like everything that I've ever done, I'm not just like settling with being okay, but that's typically where I just end up. And it's okay that people are better than you. You're not going to be the best at everything or anything, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. If there's something that you want to do, just, go for it. So yeah, is there anything that you've always wanted to do, or you say to yourself, oh, I wish I could do that, but I can't? Because maybe you're just looking for someone to give you permission, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you permission to do whatever it is that you want to do. If it's dyeing your hair purple, I highly recommend it. If it's trying improv, if it's taking a painting class, if it's like, I don't know, writing poems that you don't show anyone, who cares? Just do something that you want to do because you want to do it, and that's all you need to do stuff. And be okay with being okay at it. That's all. So yeah, let me know if you try anything, or if there's something that you want to try, and if you need a pep talk, I'm available and I can coach you through that first step. So yeah, let me know. Bye!